Hey guys, happy Monday. Thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central, every weeknight at 9:30 p.m. Central, where we relax and craft and work on a project together. So thanks again for joining me, guys. I appreciate you being here. We are working on the Jacquelynne Steves I Love Home Block of the Month quilt-along. We got 3 little flowers so far on our little house here. So this house will be sewn into a block number 1 of 4 for this project, and we are doing some needle turn applique for it. I'm going to start the hearts tonight, and hopefully that goes okay. I'm going to do it the super traditional needle turn applique tonight. I'm not going to use starch. I'm not going to pre-fold anything. We're going to do it, I'm not using freezer paper. We're going to do the heart just with the fabric, needle, and thread and see how it goes tonight, guys. So thanks for joining me again. Let's flip you around and we will get started. Thanks for popping in, guys. Okay, here we are tonight. Hi, everyone. So here we are, the little, we got our flowers done here on Friday. Let's get this party started. Exactly, Patricia. And I think I'm going to start with this heart right here tonight. And I think I'm going to do it the yellow. I think that yellow was kind of cute. Well, let's double check again. So I wanted to do, for sure I want to do this heart, this kind of red. And I know I'm going to have this yellow at the bottom for my ground. And this little brown was going to be the heart on the door. I'm still thinking I want to do that yellow up here. I don't think another green. Yeah, I don't want another green. I think I want to stick to these warm colors for the house. So I think I'm still gonna throw that yellow up on top there. Then we'll have like yellow dot dot dot, and I think that'll be pretty. And then the red will cross over here. I think it'll be a good balance of colors. So let's just stick with that. All right, guys. Give a thumbs up if you watched the eclipse today. I was not gonna do anything for the eclipse. And then right when it started, right at like noon, I'm like, nope, I'm doing something. And I made, here, let me see if I can grab it. I made a couple boxes, a couple little pinhole cameras out of a LaCroix box. And I made one for my husband too. And we ended up watching it and it was awesome. Oh, it rained there. So we got it to the point where we had about 83% coverage here, I think. And it was kind of cloudy, but it went in and out. So we did get to see a whole lot of it. And then right when it was starting to get bigger again, like at the end, then we had a thunderstorm. So at that point, then that didn't work anymore. So we went in. It was awesome though. I mean, a lot of the town was super, oh, you took a nap with the dog. A lot of the town, like further north, just like a couple miles, it was raining and I could just look north and it was really dark. So I thought that was coming our way, but nope, we got pretty good, like all the beginning, it wasn't all that cloudy. I mean, you know, scattered clouds that was on and off. So you'd catch it, but you'd be able to watch it for a while and stuff. So it was awesome. I'm happy that I ended up making something, but I literally made that box like in 5 minutes and it worked fabulously. It was fun. I'm happy we did it. From an area, you know, oh, Santa Rosa. Oh, you had heavy fog there. Oh, bummer. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. It seemed like people had a ton of, it seemed like cloudy everywhere, really. All right, so I cut this out. I didn't cut it out to use the freezer paper. I just cut it out because I'm going to use it as my guide to cut out this heart. This is this heart, right? Which way was it? There, I think like that. So I'm going to just use that as a guide to draw on here. I'm going to use a lot of this white. I think this is kind of pretty. We'll put a stripe right up through it. So, so in normal needle turn applique, you want to draw the shape on your actual fabric piece as well. So I have it back here, but I want it as a guide right on my fabric. So I'm just using that piece of paper where I had drawn. That was a freezer paper that I had drawn, traced the design onto earlier, traced the pattern onto, because I thought I was going to do it all with the freezer paper, but we're changing it up here. So there we go. That's my little heart drawn on there. So now I need to cut that out. I'm going to just trim up top here. All right. I did say yellow here. Yeah, I did. Ooh, it's going to be almost white though with all that pattern. So that'll be kind of cool. This is a neat fabric. I like it. All right, so I'm going to go around, you know, a little less than a 1/4 inch, go around that heart shape. It was fun though. The Hubs was on a video shoot and he decided to put it on pause and he drove home to watch the Eclipse stuff with me and then went back. So that was kind of neat. Everyone was kind of doing that though in our area. Like work just stopped and then everyone did their Eclipse stuff and then got back to it. It was neat. I'm just trimming this a little bit more. So it's been a little while since I've done this style of needle turn, since the Splendid Sampler, and I was really bad at it. And towards the end, I was getting a little bit better. So let's see how well it goes today. I'm going to just kind of trim into that a little bit there. So, all right. Ooh, I probably shouldn't have cut all over my my fabric there. Okay, so next up, I am going to, we need to secure this onto our back fabric. And I think the most kind of traditional way to do that, I mean, I think you could probably do it with glue or some sort of temporary thing, but we are going to straight up baste it with thread. So we are going to just try and do this in the totally traditional way, where it's just us and some fabric, a scissors, and our thread. Oh, Patricia, everything seems fine over here. I don't know if you can hear me or not. So I think we're good tonight. I would just try logging out and coming back in. A lot of times, Facebook has updates. I just lost my needle. Where did I set that just now? Oh, it's sitting right here. Good. I think Facebook just did another update, so you might have to actually, which is so stupid, you might have to uninstall and then install it again. All your information and everything will still be there. Sometimes it gets weird with the updates. So I'm going to just kind of stitch around the edge here. So I want to leave enough space so that I can fold my fabric under, like the seam allowance. So that doesn't actually leave me too much space, but I think since I'm going to start right here, I'm going to just kind of stitch over on this side, and that should be enough to hold it. So first of all, I'm just trying to match it up a little bit. It looks like my heart's a little different shape, but it'll be close enough. But I'm trying to align this heart shape with the heart in the background here. And I'm trying to do this inner heart line. All right, so I'm going to just stitch, just a little running stitch. I'm going to just go along this edge here, and I will pull out the stitches as I get that far. So normally on a larger piece, I mean, that's all I'm going to do, just like that. I'm going to leave a little end there and a little end here. I think I might actually just use this for the, I think I need a little bit more thread for the needle turn. But typically I would go in a little farther, like a little more than a 1/4 inch, maybe, yeah, a quarter, maybe almost like a 1/2 inch in, because that would leave me enough room to turn my needle turn my edge under, but these pieces are so small that I don't really have that space to do it. So we are just going to tack it down with a little thread there and see how it goes. All right, let's get some thread to needle turn. So again, it's been a little while since I've done this traditional needle turn, so bear with me a little bit. I think it'll go okay though. Got some practice with this stuff here. I mean, this was traditional too, but we did it with by pre-folding over the edges with starch and everything, and that's not the case here. So I'm going to start out by just tucking it under the first bit. So I always start on a straightaway because that's much easier than starting on a curve. And actually, before we get too far, I'm going to clip some notches out of this curve. So around, oop, getting tangled. Around curves, like outer curves, you want to cut little triangles out of it or notches. And that's just reducing bulk. So I'm not going all the way to the line, but I'm going pretty close. So that it's just going to be too much fabric to fit in that little heart shape. So I'm just this reduces that bulk. There we go. And I will we treat this inner point here a little differently, but we will get to that in a moment here. All right, now let's tuck that first edge under. I'm gonna just do that by hand here. Got a nice straightaway to start with this heart. So I'm using that background line as my guide and my line on the fabric as a guide. All right, so from here, it's the same deal as what we were doing all the other nights. I'm coming up through the back fabric, grabbing just a couple threads on the edge of this fold, and that is our first little stitch. And then we're going to go basically in the back fabric again and up through that point again, and that'll kind of hold it there. So that's our first little bit held down. And all right, now we're just going to fold as we go here. So I still have this good straight edge straight away here, so I'm going to we're going to go down through the back of the fabric and then come up stitch length away. All right, I got to get rid of that little basting stitch. It's driving me nuts. Oop, there we go. We're coming up through the back of the fabric and through our foreground fabric, just a little stitch there. I think I can do one more of those before I have to start turning my seam allowance under again. So there we are. First few stitches done. Let's rotate a little. All right, so now I'm just going to take the needle and I'm going to start tucking these curves under. Get those guys under. There we go. Work on that curve a little bit. All right. And I'm going to have to shape this curve a little bit more, but I think I can get one more stitch before I have to do that. There we go. And now we're just trying to match up our foreground outline with that background outline a little bit. I think we got a decent curve going, I think. But yeah, we saw the eclipse and promptly had a thunderstorm, so that was kind of funny, I thought. But it stayed out just long enough for us to see it, so that was pretty cool. All right. Now we're going to try and work this curve a little bit. So, like I said, my shape that I traced, I think is a hair different than this background shape, so we'll just see how it goes. Just trying to, I have a little bump here that I'm trying to tuck under. There we go. I'm trying to, in general, I think the thread is supposed to match the applique versus the background fabric. And I know I'm using a gray and this is a yellow, but in general, I think this light gray kind of blends in with everything pretty okay. So, so I'm sticking with that light gray just in general throughout all of it. But yeah, I could have found like the perfect yellow to match this, and that might have been a little bit better, but we're sticking with this gray just throughout. All right, I'm gonna get one more stitch in here, and then I gotta address the inner point, I think, because we are quickly approaching that. But there, we got the start of our curve. All right, let's deal with this inner point. See if I can remember how to do this well. Oh, there were a whole pile of tricks for this, and I'm not sure I'm going to remember all of them, but we'll give it a go. First of all, get out of there. Extra little thread. So I'm going to cut straight down the center till I'm just about at that point, and then I'm going to cut like at 2 angles, like a little bird foot. All right, so now that I have that edge prepped, the seam allowance prepped, I'm going to just keep going around this heart. And then we'll get to that inner point soon. Tuck that under. So that's kind of a big seam allowance. I could have probably cut down this seam allowance a little bit more. I'll have to make sure to do that on the other hearts. This is my warm-up heart. How about that? All right, so I'm, again, just trying to shape that little point that's popping up. Hi, Lorraine. Thanks again for joining me, guys. I love hanging out with you during the week here. Best part of the day, for sure. All right, we got that shaped, so let's tack it down with a few stitches. I'm gonna do one more before I move my thumb out of the way. And I'm doing kind of a few more stitches around this curve just to make sure I have it all just right. Okay. Now we are getting to that inner curve. So again, this is a little bit, this heart shape that I drew is a little different shape than the background. So let me see if I can adjust that. I'm gonna pull it in a little bit more so it matches the background a little bit. Oh, thanks, Connie. Never heard of this. Yeah, it's I am liking it more and more. I had heard of it and I had never really tried it before, but it's really, I'm liking it so much more than I originally thought. It's just so relaxing, this style of applique, and I'm really having a nice time doing it. All right, I'm changing the shape of my fabric heart a little bit so it fits. I think I drew it a little bit bigger, so I think I need to actually clip in the curve a little bit to that point a little bit more. All right, so now this is one of the things we learned during the Splendid Sampler. Once I kind of get towards that point, let's see, how did this work? Oh yeah, I wanted to fold the edge that I'm not working on. I'm gonna fold that over an extra amount, like more than I need to, right at that point there. And then we'll puff that back out. But for the time being, I'm gonna fold it a little more than I need to and hold it there. And then, I'm tangled. Then with my needle, I'm going to kind of swoop. Ooh, I got little frayed edges. So I'm gonna try and swoop into that point and hold it there, and then keep swooping and to fold the rest of the fabric over. And I think I got it pretty well. So I'm gonna hold that there. Oh, I remember another trick. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. All right, so one of the other tricks is as you approach this middle part, so your threads are getting really small right there, right? Because we've clipped it really far in. So by coming up from the back, we're kind of pushing the threads out. So as we approach the inner point, I'm going to change it up. So with this next stitch, I'm coming up in the back fabric. I'm not coming in the front fabric as well. And instead, I am going to go down through the front fabric, because going down, I'm not pushing those threads up and out of the way. So for these few stitches, I'm coming up through the back. We'll do one more and then right in the center. And I'm doing kind of smaller stitches here. I don't know if I really need smaller stitches, but it helps hold things in. And then down through both fabrics, the front and the background fabric. All right, let's get that point really well, push it down in there. And again, I'm gonna come up only from the back, only getting the back and then going down through both. There we go. So that's my inner point right there. All right, so I don't know, should I tack that down again? I can't remember if we do that. Let's give it a go. I'm gonna put one more stitch in that spot just to hold that piece so that I can adjust the rest and not have it fall apart. But I think that's looking good. That was a pretty good, we don't have any little frayed edges popping out. Again, this might be nicer fabric though, fabric that doesn't fray as much, but I think it's going well. So at this point, I don't need all my basting stitches anymore. It's being held down by all of these, so got rid of those basting stitches. And now I can, we've folded this up in here, right? That extra, that second edge we folded quite far. So now at this point I can poof it out again. So it's following this shape of the heart again. Swoop under those edges. And I'm going to do one more stitch that's in the back only. And then coming down to the front because we still have a little itty bitty fraying edges on this side yet. So let's drop a stitch in there. Uh-oh, lost my thread. That's not a good place to lose it, but back on track. Happy Eclipse Day to you too, Sue. It was fun. I gotta watch it. If you guys are just popping in, here is my my LaCroix, my little pinhole guy that I made. I made a couple of those right before the eclipse started today. I wasn't gonna do anything, but then I'm like, I gotta do something, and I went to the recycling bin and found those LaCroix boxes. I was pretty happy. I was happy that I did that for sure. And I gotta, oops, I forgot one thing. I gotta stand outside, and I gotta, our neighbors were all watching too, so it was kind of neat. I did not clip these corners, or this curve. And I probably could have gotten away without clipping it, but it does help to reduce that bulk a little bit. I think that'll be fine. Let's just do that. I think this is working great. It's all coming back to me. All these tricks for these curves and the tricks for those inner points. We still have to do that outer point at the base, but I don't know. I'm happy with that inner point so far. Get tucked under there. All right, I gotta work that curve. I'm not very good at these curves yet, getting them right away, but you work them a little and then they do it. You always thread your needle. You always thread your needle or needle your thread so easily. Oh, I have a little trick for that, Sue. And no, these this needle has a really small eye, so I'll show you that once I tack down these couple stitches. But yeah, I thread my needle in a certain way that makes it super easy, I think. I mean, maybe it takes a little bit of practice, but I love this way of threading my needle. So let's get this guy tacked down. All right, and I do this with my embroidery floss too. So, like riding a bicycle. Yep, so far so good, Christine. All right, so first of all, I'm going to just cut a nice edge. I mean, it's a little wrinkly up top there, so I always like starting with a nice fresh edge. So I put, it might be a little bit hard to see with this small thread, but I'm going to try and do it. So I put the thread so that I can pinch my fingers, and there, you can kind of see it. Now you can't, and now you can see it again. I put it really close to my fingers so that when I pinch it, it goes away, and then I can slowly unpinch it, and then I can start seeing it. So, all right, I'm pinching it so I can't see the thread, and then I slowly release, and the moment I can see that little bit of thread, like you can just see it there, right? Just barely. Then I take my needle and I place the eye over it, and I kind of over the thread, and I kind of push down on the needle a little bit, and then I keep releasing with my fingers, releasing the pinch, which kind of pushes it through the needle, and then I can keep pushing down on the needle, and then I just kind of put my fingers on the other side to grab it. Well, and you know, at the same time I'm releasing the pinch. So let's do that again. So I'm squishing my fingers together to pinch it and slowly releasing. The moment I see it, the thread, I'm putting my needle above it, pushing it down, and now I'm just kind of grabbing the thread on the other side and pulling it through. So that's how I thread needles. I don't like try and hold it far away. You don't have to lick it or lick the thread or anything like that, really. As long as you put a nice, like cut a nice fresh edge on it, then it should be pretty good. Oh yeah, no problem, Sue. Yep, that's my favorite way of doing it for sure. All right, let's try and shape this curve. So again, I think I drew this piece a little bit larger. Got a stray fuzzle. Are you connected to something? No. Okay, good. All right. So my shape of the heart is a hair different than this background shape. Or I'm just scrunching. I might be scrunching up the background a little, which is making the background heart a little bit smaller, but I think all in all we'll be okay. Ooh, we're totally gonna get this heart done. Ooh, we might get a couple hearts done tonight. That would be awesome. So you guys, I am on Tuesday of next week. So not this week, but Tuesday of next week is when we're gonna start the Craft a Happy Life embroidery. So I'm trying to get as far as I can on this. If magic happens, then we'll get block 1 done before we start the Craft a Happy Life kit. But if we don't, like I might still have to do all the sewing on this. If I don't get this done, then we will pick it up right after the Craft a Happy Life kit. And we might have a little bit of time before we get block 2. So I think when do we get block 2? Like September, the first Monday in September. I think we get block 2. Is it the 2nd? I can't quite remember. But yeah, so if we're not quite finished with this block 1 yet, then we'll when block 2 comes out, we'll just quickly finish block 1 and then we'll get on block 2. It should go much quicker now because we have all the fabric cut. Remember, so this block is taking so long because we spent all that time cutting all the fabric. Oh, Rosalie, yeah, I bet that's too bad. Ugh. Do you use a needle threader then, or what's your strategy then? All right, so I'm on the other straightaway. So the only other thing to worry about is this outer point. I'm still kind of swooping these edges under. All right, I'm gonna actually just use my fingers. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up this other side a little bit. There we go, and now tuck under this side. So my fold's going the other way. There we go. So now I'm gonna stitch up to that point. Oh, it just takes a little bit longer. Yep. I bet you work a little harder to not have it slip off the needle all the time. Like it keeps coming off of, I keep having it slip off. I suppose I could tie a knot in the end of my thread. That might do it. All right, I am at the outer point. So I'm going to just do one more little tack to hold that point in place. That extra little stitch allows you to kind of let go and it won't undo itself. And now I can work on this last little tuck. So let's see, how did we do this now? I think we folded it kind of horizontal like that and then under. I think we're going to try and use my fingers as much as possible. It's a little more difficult because I kind of started maybe a little too close to this point. But let's try and get him stuffed in there. All right. In there. All right, so I'm kind of tucking in my background fabric quite a bit, so I'm just trying to pull that out. All right, I think we kind of got it in there. Let's see if I can shape it a little bit better. It's a little bloopy there and not quite on my line, so let's just keep pushing it in there. Sometimes you can go in and grab it and with the needle and tuck it in. All right, I think that looks good. Let's try and hold it there so I can tack it before it moves on me. I'm doing small stitches again at the point here just to hold it in, make sure it stays there. There we go. And I am just about to where I began, so this will be my last stitch here. We'll go around once more and go in the back and tie this off. I almost lost my thread again. All right. Oh, I think it's cute. Cute little heart. But yeah, see, it got kind of puffy on the back and because I kept pushing my fabric in. And so I was kind of scrunching my background fabric in there too, which reduces the size of the background. So you kind of want to watch that so you don't squish too much fabric in there. But again, that's why there's extra fabric that we're going to cut this down when we're done, just for these extra little bits, that extra millimeters that we're losing here and there, I suppose. Okay, let's trim that and take a look. All right, our first little heart. Ooh, I think I got a little bit of edge poofing out of there. Let's see if I can tuck that in. I might need to tack that down a little bit, but I think we're okay. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna embroider kind of around there too, so that might help. But there we go, our first little heart. That worked out slick. That worked out better than I was thinking it would. So awesome, let's move on to this other one, which is a little bit smaller. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. So I'm going to cut this out again just to use as my tracing guide. I'm gonna clip it a little onto the inside because when I trace it, then the line will be just a little bit bigger and making it in the right spot. Because I think it was a little big, like my fabric heart was a little bit bigger than my background heart for that one. So cute hearts. That went quick. That went, you know, almost as quick as these leaves and stuff. Although I suppose I've had practice on the leaves. Oh gosh, this one's really small. We'll see how it goes, this small. All right, again, we are gonna just trace this onto the front. Look how cute that little white heart is on the red. All right, we'll go about there. I suppose if you wanted, you could use the freezer paper to press them on the fronts of all these like this, and then trace around them and then pull the freezer paper off. If you're doing a big intricate shape, that's probably not a horrible idea. All right, I think I can see that line decent enough. All right, heart number 2. Oh, isn't this is fun, Gretchen? You know, like I said, this was surprisingly needle turn applique when I first started doing it. Surprisingly, way more relaxing and enjoyable than I expected. I'm gonna get a little smaller seam allowance on this guy, just because he is small. Yeah, I would love to do a big intricate quilt sometime, all needle turn. You know, that'd be like a 10-year project, but still, it'd be fun. So many ideas. All right, here is our little heart. Oh, you know what? I think I got some seam allowance in there, maybe. Oh well. I'm going to trim this a little bit, that point. And okay, let's, I'm still going to put a couple basting stitches in there. So I'm just trying to line it up with the background a hair. There. Cute, that's going to be cute. Let's get some thread. I only need like a tiny, tiny bit of thread to baste this down. Oh, you're doing that, a larger needle turn quilt, aren't you? Crazy, that's awesome. All right, we're kind of lined up, I think. So let's just tack it down with a few stitches. Oh, I suppose I'm going to go from the front so I can see my thread. Just wiggling it back and forth in there for a little running stitch. And again, I'll remove this before I get to it, just because these pieces are so small that basting it's going to get in the way real quick here. All right, you are too big, scissors. All right, let's start this up again. I think I'm going to use this big scissors though for this. It's a nice scissors. I'm going to just clip some of those corners. And actually, haha. So here's another little trick that I like. So I have a pinking shears. And oh, this might be too small for this, but sometimes I like taking that pinking shears to reduce the bulk. There, we'll do this side right away too. So that cuts out a bunch of little triangles right away. So if you're doing a circle, just taking a pinking shears is a real quick way of getting some of those edges. There we go. I think that will do. Oh, Ladies of the Sea. Oh, wow. That's exciting. All right, let's get some thread and stitch this feller down. So then we'll still have this heart and the ground to do yet. So we'll do those. Hopefully we can do both of those tomorrow. If we're able to do 2 hearts, I mean, I'm coming up on the time a little bit, so we'll see how fast this goes. This heart. Might not quite finish this heart tonight, but yeah, if we can finish all this applique by tomorrow, by Tuesday evening, then we might have a good chance of finishing this before we start the Craft a Happy Life stitch along. I mean, there is all the sewing and everything yet, so we'll just see it, play it by ear, but I don't know. This is going a wee bit faster than I thought it would. All right. First stitch. I'm going to go around that stitch one more time. All right. Now we can start tucking that curve, and I'm just following the line on that I drew on the heart here. Oop, caught the tip. I'm kind of doing slightly smaller stitches than I normally would, but it's because, you know, I'm dealing with these small curves and it's going to have a lot of bulk and stuff. If I could swoop this way, I think I could get these curves better, but I'm not very adept at that. Fold under. There we go. Just shaping it a little bit, and then once I have it shaped, I quickly try and tack it down to preserve that shape. Oh, you wonder if that's how pinking shears got its name? That's a good question. I might have to look that up. Pinking shears. God, I feel that feels familiar. Like I feel like I looked that up once before, but now I don't know. Oh, that's awesome, Peggy. I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, you're having trouble. Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a lot going on, and there is. I mean, you have outer curves, you have you know, inner points and outer points. It's kind of got it all, these hearts. But yeah, just, you know, little by little. Oh, and just, you know, an FYI, this took me all of the Splendid Sampler to learn some of these tricks. All right, I think I need to clip those inner curves. If you look at some of my beginning needle turn applique blocks for the Splendid Sampler, my inner points and outer points and curves and everything are just all over the place. So this is definitely with practice that you know, I feel really good about this heart. Like I think the inner point looks good. I have a little bit of fuzz coming out, but not nearly as much as I used to. And you know, curves could use work, but still, this is a huge improvement from when I started. So it does take a little bit of practice, but I think with needle turn, man, those tricks really helped me. Those like for the inner point, that trick, I mean, a couple things with that. Learned a lot. And those tricks definitely helped a ton. All right, this is a little tight little curve here. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, yep, Connie, they're up on my YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. So youtube.com/penguin and fish movies, all one giant big phrase. And the Splendid Sampler project, if you scroll down, they're all grouped. All the projects are grouped by project. So you'll see this project and I think Splendid Sampler is the second project on there, I think. Second or third. So yeah, that's it's a big thing. It's organized by the date that I did the video. So it's in a different order than what the book is. But if you search for needle turn, or if you know a certain block that has the needle turn, then you should be able to find it there. There's a ton of videos though. A year's worth of videos, really, actually, because we were working on that project for over a year. I'm actually not done with it yet. I still need to finish quilting it. So if we do ever have a, oh, you saw the projects. Yeah, if we do ever have a moment where it's like, oh, dang, what do we work on? We all of a sudden don't have something to work on, which, yeah, if you saw my email, my newsletter that I sent out today, I kind of have listed all the projects we'll be doing coming up. And it goes all the way into like January of 2018, which is crazy. I'm not that big of a planner, so that was weird to have a plan that goes that far. I want to be a planner, just not all that good at it all the time. But yeah, if we ever have a moment, I need to work on my Splendid Sampler some more. I got to get that guy done before winter. All right, I did that thing where I came up on the outside and not the inside. I'm going to go straight down through the, not inside, the front fabric, the applique piece. just to try not to poof up any of those little edges. Oh, I'm glad you like the newsletter, Peggy. I appreciate that. Yeah, finally got a schedule and a plan for these projects. But yeah, we have some cute projects coming up too. I don't know if you guys saw that Wisecraft English paper piecing project. That'll be fun. We'll be starting that soon in September. So I think right when we get block 2 done, we'll start that. Hopefully the timing and stuff goes right. I'm totally estimating how long different things take to do, and you know, I don't always know. So I left some time in like September, I think. No, not September, in like October to catch up on stuff if we need to. But based on these hearts, we might be pretty good. I thought these would take a little bit longer. All right, I'm just trying to shape this heart again. Does not want to come back out. There we go. Ooh, I kind of can't see my line, but I think I'm going to go right there. I got a few frayed edges on this one. Well, and then it's going to just be what it's going to be. But I'll have to work on that. Oh, that's a good idea. You know what? I got to do that too. Actually, I was going to print that out and have it next to me here. Are you making your templates for? Oh, I'm buying them. Actually, she's sending me a sample to see how it goes. But then after that, I'll be getting them and testing them out. So they are available, I think, on our website. I think I put a link to that. So I am using the template. I think her book has like some how-to for English paper piecing, but we did a bunch of that during the Splendid Sampler too. So I'm gonna attempt to remember how to do it, like how I'm attempting to remember to do this. I know we learned. Do you guys remember what was that knot that we learned for English paper piecing? Some special knot. I can't remember it. I'm gonna have to look at I'm gonna have to go through my Splendid Sampler videos to figure it out again. But it'll be fun. Put knot out. Oh, am I doing something weird? Oh, the knicker knot! That's it, Christine. The knicker knot. That is the knot that we learned. So I remember that being super helpful. But why? Why was that helpful? Just to get corners together? I don't remember the purpose of it even. Oh man. I'm sure once it's in my hands, I'll remember it. I think there's some muscle memory to this stuff too. Oh yeah, you do a lot. Oh, Peggy, then this will be a super fun project for you because it's the exact same of hexes, but just a hair step up. So if you want to try out, like, you know, you'll be a pro at it if you do hexes. But it's just fun to know that, you know, you can do other shapes and stuff besides the hexagons and just get really pretty, intricate designs. And this one in particular, I think it's going to be very pretty. At least it looked awfully pretty in her photo, I thought. So I'm pretty excited about that. Actually, I'm probably going to order her book too, because I've been eyeballing that the Wisecraft Quilts book, because it's got that jean quilt on the cover, and you know I've been making my jean quilt for a while, and I don't know. I think that's kind of awesome. Someone else making a quilt out of recycled stuff and out of jeans, and jeans are so neat because you have the dark side of the jeans, and the inside of like your jeans are usually that lighter colored jean color. So you can get your lights and darks with the inside and the outside of the jeans. You're in a Lucy Boston Hexie group. Oh, fun! Have bought stamps and... Oh, you stamp the pieces! Oh, well, that's interesting. I haven't heard that before. And then fussy cut seam stitch. Definitely be doing that. Oh, awesome! Yes, handwork is super duper relaxing. So, English paper piecing, I'm not sure I was as wild about that as I was with this needle turn applique. And I think, oh, here I can remove all my basting stitches. That might be why I'm having a little bit of trouble here. There we go. Just having a hard time tucking fabric in because I didn't have anywhere to put it because of those basting stitches. But I think I was liking the needle turn applique a little bit better. I was having a hard time holding the English paper piecing. So maybe I'll have to find a way. This will be like a test on if I can get that figured out. I think it was just like, because this pinching motion, like this sometimes hurts my fingers a lot. And you know, this I'm not in that pinching motion. I'm kind of more like this, like holding the fabric up here and then down here. So I don't have that pinching motion where in English paper piecing I kind of do. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to find a little itty bitty solution to that. Not that it's the worst thing, but I don't know, it is a little, hurts my hands a little bit. So this will be a little, we'll have that objective during this paper piecing too. How can I hold these in a non-pinching way? Oh, the Wonder Clips. Yeah, so I think we use the Wonder Clips a little bit, but I still have to hold on to those a little bit. And I don't know, I don't remember. I think we tried a little bit of something, but I can't remember that either. All right, I'm gonna just trim this little flap a little bit there. And now we'll tuck this point under, and this is gonna be the last little bit, and I'm pretty surprised. I did not think we would finish 2 hearts tonight, just because I thought it was gonna be more to it, all these hearts and stuff too, but I don't know. Worked pretty well. I mean, maybe this does take about the same time as, you know, the freezer paper and all that. It's just, it takes longer, but you don't have to do all the prep work with the freezer paper. So maybe plain needle turn or pure needle turn, is that what we called it the other night? Pure needle turn. Maybe all in all, it is just as fast. Don't know. All right, I have one more little stitch. I got a little bloop going here, so I'm going to try and tuck that under. All right, I think that's good. So let's tack that down, and that will be the last stitch, I think. Oh yeah, when you start assembling the hexies together. So we were doing it in a way where we were assembling as we were going, and that was kind of fun too. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to get started on that project though. I think I got to pick fabric for that though too. I might use some penguin and fish fabric scraps. So that might be kind of fun. It's funny, I don't use my fabric all the time because I like paging through all of my purchased fabric and seeing what's in there and playing with stuff that that's not mine. So I don't know, maybe it's time I use my own fabric again. See how that goes. Make a bright, fun little hexagon guy with scraps. We'll see. All right, I think that is that. Let's snip him and see what we got here. Aw, he's cute. Got little funny points in there, but it's so small. I think a lot of that's going to be, where I do have some silly points here and there. I think it'll be covered up because we're gonna do like this blanket stitch around with this orange. Ooh, that'll look pretty on both of these, I think. Awesome. So I think we will, here we go, up close. Little heart. So let's see, like right up here, there's maybe kind of a funny point, not a perfect curve, but that's kind of the beauty of it too, I think. So all right, tomorrow, this is great. So this went faster than I thought. I think we'll get the needle turn done tomorrow, which I'm way excited about. I was thinking that might take a lot longer. So we'll get this kind of wood grain guy. That's going to be the bigger heart. Yeah, we're going to stitch the bigger heart, and I'm going to embroider this smaller heart. So, all right, this is there, and then we'll do that first tomorrow, and then we will get this ground in afterwards. Oh, it's going to be so cute, and then all this will be, we'll stitch that for the rest of it. I don't think the embroidery is going to take horribly long. It'll still probably take a couple days. So let's just think about this. So let's say Tuesday, that's tomorrow, we get done with all the applique. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we can probably be done. I'm thinking maybe it might only take 2 days to do the embroidery, but let's pretend it takes till Friday. And then we still have Monday to start sewing. So we might actually have sewing done before we work on the Craft a Happy Life project. And if we can get the embroidery done on Thursday, then we'll have Friday and Monday to sew, and maybe that's all we need. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. It's all cut out already, so that's nice. Whew, our timing might be like perfect on this thing. So, all right, I'm gonna flip you around and we will call it an evening tonight. Howdy. So here we are. Oh, it's coming together. I love those little flowers. Aren't they sweet? And little hearts. I think it'll just round it out by having that one extra heart down there. And then again with the kind of coral orange. I think that'll be a little different, that thread color. And I love that thread color, so I'm excited. I think we will be pretty good at getting this done. Let's just say we're gonna get it done by Monday. How about that? I don't know if we will, but that's what we're shooting for. And then on Tuesday of next week, we will start the Craft a Happy Life project. And do I have it over here? Yep. So that's this. It comes in a kit, but it also is a PDF pattern too. So we will stitch that up from the kit, and that will be next Tuesday. So thank you again, guys. This will go up on Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube, and it will also stay here on the Penguin and Fish page on Facebook as well. So have an excellent night. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And again, have a great night. Adios.